Hello and welcome back to another very special live stream with a guest. We have Astari, aka John, with us today. And today we are unboxing the Dark of Mirkwood new scenario pack for the Lord of the Rings the card game. So, John lives in Canada, and so he was able to get it about a month early, and so he suggested and wanted to come on the stream to unbox it and look at all the new cards. So I'm really excited. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I wanted to crack it open last night, but no, I had to wait till today. So, uh, yeah, it's the one rare time that Canada seems to get something before our US friends. So,
Yeah,
sneak peek.
yeah. So I'm excited. This one, Istari has a face. Josh says.
He's
Yep,
not a bot.
he's not a bot. We were wondering there for a little bit, but I'm glad to put that matter to rest. But so the Dark of Mirkwood pack. So this was a pack that was initially released as two additional scenarios in the collector's edition, and I believe I'm pretty new to the game, but I believe that they kind of made the promise that they would eventually release it as this, what we see here today. And I think it just took a little bit longer than a lot of people were expecting. But do you want to give us a kind of a brief overview about what's in the pack, what we're about to see? And a
Sure, I'll
voice.
read
And a voice, he says.
and a voice. Yeah, I'll just read it off the back. I don't know if you can see it, but so brave the perils of forest and cave in the Dark of Mirkwood, an 82 card expansion for the Lord of the Rings, the card game that features two previously released scenarios. A group of wicked goblins have raided a settlement on the eaves of Mirkwood, taking the woodmen as their captives. Pursue them into the forest in the oath and venture deep into their lair to perform a daring rescue in the caves of Nubin Duan. These scenarios can be played 1 to 4 players, either a standalone adventure or as an extension to the Lord of the Rings, the card game core set campaign. So there's a tying into the campaign piece that the revised edition is offering. So that's great.
Yeah, and right, like 1 to 4 is typical for the game, but what I really like is the extension of kind of the core box and getting a little bit more love there and adding onto the campaign. And so we were just talking right before we went live that we're both really excited for this kind of campaign version of what they're putting out. And so with all the boons and the burdens and all of these different ways to manipulate this game that has been able to be played so successfully for 10 years, and now all of a sudden they're adding more to it, which is just super exciting to see. And so Dark Mirkwood, 82 cards, and I mean that's a pretty good value because I think at least in US dollar, I think I pre-ordered it for like 18. So $18 for two scenarios, I'll pay that every day.
All right, cracking it
Let's
open.
do it.
All right. So two sealed
Nice.
sleeves, little instruction booklet. It's cool, like a little mini scenario guide. Welcome to the expansion. Features two unique standalone adventures. The Oath and the Caves of Nib and Doom. You can play them in this two standalone or with the mini campaign and the expansion. And then typical setup, which card types do you want to include?
Nice.
You want me to read this whole thing here? You want me to read that out?
uh sure, why not? Let's hear what we're going to be
All
doing.
right. Streaming's free, so I may as well. All right. The Oath. After a brief stay in Lorien, the heroes were on their way back to Thranduil with the news of a recent ordeal in Dol Guldur. They had, they had just crossed the Anduin River when they saw smoke billowing up from the eaves of Mirkwood. They followed the black plumes to the remains of a woodman village. Dead bodies lay strewn among the blackened wreck of a woodman village. Some had black feathered arrows sticking from their backs, while others were cruelly hewn. "This is orc work," cried one of the heroes. "It was goblins did this." A raspy voice came from one of the figures on the ground. It was a woodman with an arrow in his back. He struggled to lift his head. "They took our families," he groaned. "You must rescue them." The woodman's eyes pleaded with the heroes even as his strength failed him. One of the companions knelt at his side and spoke. We will find your people and rescue them if we can, or avenge them if we cannot. You have my word. The injured man nodded and exhaled his last breath. Wasting no time, the heroes searched for the signs of the goblin's trail. It was easy enough to find, a heavy trampling that led deeper into the forest. The heroes drew their weapons and followed the trail into the woods. The Oath encounter deck is built with all the cards from the following encounter sets, the Oath and the Goblins. These sets are included by the following icons. You can see that.
Nice. Yep. It sounds like a pretty gruesome scenario.
Yeah, it does.
Nice. So Josh says that all you young whippersnappers with your core box campaign, bonus scenario, and hula hoops, Trap-It wants to know where the hula hoops, and Josh says it's in the second scenario. So
maybe I'll save the wording for the Caves of Nibendum for when you open it. But
yeah, perfect.
There's so the back page has campaign mode. So expansion can be played in campaign mode either as an extension of the Mirkwood Pass campaign from the core set or as 2-scenario mini campaign. Instructions for each of these options are detailed below. For the full campaign mode rules, see the pages of 30, 31 in the Learn to Play book included in the core set. Looks like there's extra cards.
And I assume that is referencing the new revised Learn to Play set. So if you have the original box, you may not have that, which you can go find those. Hopefully eventually you can go find those rules online somewhere. But Trap-It wants to know so that we have to go and survive the hula hoops to get the hula hoops. That would be a change. That would be a fun scenario right there. Very cool.
I don't know which ones. If each deck is by scenario or if they're all mixed together, I'm gonna find out.
Yeah. You've opened one or two of these packs in your life, haven't you?
Yeah, lots. Too many.
Alrighty, so this is our first scenario, at least from the little icon there.
Yeah, should pay attention to that. So this looks like the first one. Yeah.
The Oath. Oh, that guy looks crazy.
So we just want to flip through the cards?
Yeah, let's flip through the cards.
Okay.
So 1A, it looks like we got some questing to do. It's a 9 and a 12.
Lead you into the forest farther. Stage can't be defeated until at least one copy of the Goblin Trails in the victory display. Okay, so there's a 2B. There's a 3. Set aside Goblin Troop, put it in the staging area.
So it looks like there's going to be a lot of goblins coming after us.
Yeah, it looks like.
Like it. And then here's the second one. This is the second scenario.
Yeah, Dark of Mirkwood.
Very cool. So that looks like a lower quest threshold, so there must be something else that we have to be doing in order to progress along in that quest. What are you seeing there?
Yeah, goblins are led. During the encounter phase, treat each enemy's engagement cost as if it was 0. The stage gets +4 quest points for each enemy in play. Oh.
Oh, wow.
So the more there are, the more quest points you need. Wow.
I really like that. That's a really fun mechanic, right? Especially because everyone's going to be engaging you and attacking you. So you're going to really have to balance out your questing ability, or just go all tactics and just completely mow down all the goblins in play. And then you need 0 and you immediately progress.
Yeah.
That's great.
You set the Goblin Chieftain aside. Add the cracked pillar to staging area. All right, so there's like a big boss at the end. It looks like.
Nice.
Counter card.
Awesome. So I have not played any of the other scenario packs yet. Have you played through any of those?
No, not yet.
Okay. Okay. I wonder if anyone in the chat has, because kind of what I understand is that they're a little bit more maybe than some of the others where I don't know, they just seem more epic, at least from the cover and the box and what you get in them. So the big boss. Oh, we got
That it
stage
is.
4. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a longer quest.
Yeah. Can't defeat the stage while a chieftain's in play, so gotta take him out.
Awesome.
Fulfill your oath and you win. Okay. So let's see what kind of cards are in here.
Oh, that guy looks nasty. And I we have to remember that this actually yeah, so these in our scenario, if we're on that stage, I think it's either 2 or 3, we're going to have to treat all of these engagement costs as 0. And so there's a chance that no matter what your threat level is, these guys are coming after you. So just keep that in mind as we're flipping through here.
2 of those.
Why are there so
Great
many spiders?
spider. 2 of those. Oh, and this is the active location encounter card effects can't be canceled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
that can get dangerous. Oh man.
Discard a card to travel here, random one.
Hello. I think I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, so I apologize. Kelliker TV. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Josh says that he's played the scenario in the first 2 player boxes, and they're more interesting than the first core one for sure. They nicely fit with the core style. Cool. Okay. Sweet.
Draw 2 cards if you go to the forest gate.
Big fan of that.
Yeah. Probably the only good one in there. Oh, so if you go here, you got to find a spider card from the discard pile. And
Interesting.
Engage. Oh, that's not nice.
And that's got a 4 threat, so that's nasty to flip.
Yeah, 4 and 4. So.
Oh, yeah. You get stuck there. You get stuck in all the webs. So the first mission is so hard. We played in enjoyable mode and +1 mana. Yeah, so was it like frustratingly hard, or was it fun and difficult at the same time? Some of these cards look pretty mean. Like right here, this is a 6. It's a 3/6. It's got a victory. I have all the cards in print and play. Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
Oh, discard a top card from the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, add it to the staging area.
That's great. No. To travel there? Or?
Yeah, when you travel there.
When we travel there? Okay.
Yeah.
It's just very hard to do without deck building. Okay. So it's one of those scenarios that kind of takes some special deck building to do. I enjoy those scenarios. Those are kind of my favorite. And so that's exciting to hear. Oh, and now we're getting some treacheries, which, depending on the active location, may or may not be able to be canceled. What does that say?
Each enemy in each location currently in the staging area gets +1 threat until the end of the phase.
Oh, geez.
If there are no cards in the staging area driven by shadow, gain surge.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, that's fun.
On the shadows, discard an attachment from the defending character. Oh, and if the attack's undefended, discard all your attachments. Oh, great.
Oh, with shadow cards like that, like knowing that those are in the deck, it makes me so scared to just not defend ever. Like it can swing so poorly, especially with the northern tracker, which puts 1 progress token on every location in the staging area. That can come in clutch. That can be a very great card. Alrighty, so what do we got here?
Surprising speed. Each player returns 1 enemy, engage with them to the staging area. If no enemy was returned to the staging area, surprising speed, gain surge, and doomed 1.
Oh, no.
and +1 attack for the shadow.
Okay. I've seen this card
Caught,
before.
yeah, caught in a web. Play with the highest threat gets this attached. And the hero can't ready unless you pay the 2 resources from the pool. Yeah. Goblin Troop, 3536.
Ooh. Gandalf can't even kill him in one swipe.
And then while this card is engaged with you, each other goblin enemy gets +1 attack and defense.
Oh.
Oh, attacking enemy gets +2 for the shadow. I've never
Oh,
seen a
no.
+2 as a shadow.
Oh, no. I've seen, like, the +1 or +2 if it's undefended, but not just a straight but +2. That's that's a nasty card right there.
Goblin Sniper looks the same as the other one. Stays in the staging area and just picks you off. You can't
Those
engage
goblin,
unless there's other.
yeah, those goblin snipers are just so frustratingly annoying. That guy looks cool.
Goblin Runner Surge. Yeah, 1-3-1-2. Shadow attacking enemy makes an additional attack immediately after this one.
Oh, no. that can throw some wrenches into some plans right there. Wow.
Goblin Town Scavengers. Discard the top card of each player's deck until the end of the phase. Increase Goblin Town Scavengers' threat by the total printed cost of all cards discarded in this way.
Sorry, can you read that one more time?
Sure. Discard the top card of each player's deck until the end of the phase. Increase Goblin Town Scavenger's threat by the total printed cost of all cards discarded in this way.
Oh my goodness. In a higher player count game, that can get real nasty.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oh, that card looks insane.
And then force to draw a top card of the encounter deck, and if it's a goblin enemy, put it in play engaged with you. So it goes right on top of you, not even in the staging area.
Looks like we need to be running some high defense.
Yeah.
Builds
Goblins
here.
are upon you. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for a goblin enemy and put it in play engaged with you, and then shuffle the encounter deck. Can't be canceled.
Ooh. Okay.
Attacking enemy gets +1 for each goblin enemy engaged with you. So that could rack up.
Oh, wow.
Well.
Especially if we're on that second stage where all engagement costs are 0, and so they're just flooding you. Wow.
Eyes in the Dark, each player must choose to raise your threat by 1 for each questing character you control, or discard a questing character you control. Ooh.
And it's doomed 1 too.
Yeah. And to add to it.
So we definitely need some spirit heroes coming in. Give us access to those threat reduction cards.
Yeah, because you don't want to discard a questing character.
Unless you're running like an ally swarm, in which case it could be okay, but really I don't ever want to discard any of my characters.
No, there's 2 of those.
Oof.
Deal 2 damage to a character you control.
Depending on when that's drawn, that can be like okay. Like I just threw a Snowborn Scout in there. It's like deal 2 damage. Okay, whatever. I don't care. But like first treachery card, when you first reveal it, that could kill you quick.
Here's the Goblin Chieftain.
Ooh.
He's got 8 hit points. Look at all the other stuff here. So X is the stage number of the quest. Can't take damage, can't have attachments, and the forced effect. After Goblin Chieftain attacks, either remove X progress from the quest or return it to the staging area.
So he can't be damaged?
No.
So how do we beat him?
Stage of the quest can't take damage. It's a good question. Oh, while there are at least 8 progress tokens on this stage, Goblin Chieftain loses the text, cannot take damage.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I like that.
So you got to fill this up first, and then you can start hitting them up. Wow.
Interesting. And he's removing progress tokens, right? Like when he attacks you.
Yeah.
So so you that creates a little pickle.
It's like a built-in nightmare deck right there.
Yeah.
Really.
Seems fun though.
Yeah, it
Seems
does.
like there's a it's definitely one that you need to build around and try and figure out what you're doing.
Yeah.
Before we go through these cards, can we look at the quest for this deck one more time, just so
Yeah, sure.
we can refresh my memory?
So I think these guys were from the second one. So probably that was the end game. So
That was the end game. Okay,
the second one where you got the big chieftain at the end. So
cool,
here are the quest ones from the first one.
awesome. Okay,
So set up. Uh, Search the encounter deck for one copy of Eves of Mirkwood and the Goblin Troop. Add them to the staging area. Set the troop aside. Shuffle. And then 9 points for that one.
okay.
Then let's do that in order. Goblin Trail leads you farther into the forest. So search the encounter deck and discard pile for a forest location. Add to the staging area. Shuffle the deck. Stage can't be defeated until there's at least one copy of Goblin Trail is in the victory display. That was a location, I think.
Yeah, and I wonder if Goblin Trail is one of those, if it's a forest location. It sounds like it could be. So you probably want to go grab that, which is probably not good to have out.
Then goblins are aware of your pursuit and form a rear guard. Stage can't be defeated while the Goblin Troop is in play. When this stage is defeated, the heroes discover the trail of the Goblin secret lair, and players win the game.
Cool.
At least for the oath part, and then you get to the baddie.
The baddie. Yep.
You want to look at the second pack that we opened?
Yeah, let's do it.
Location, cracked pillar.
And so these cards are for the second quest.
That
right?
is correct.
Okay, cool. So this goes along with the Orc Chieftain.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. And then there's
these boon cards. I'm gonna.
There's some boon cards. Yeah, awesome, sweet. I'm ready to go through those. That'll be fun.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll get there. So crack pillar. It's in the staging area. The first player may declare an attack against the crack pillar during the combat phase as if it was an enemy engaged with them. Use crack pillar's threat as its defense during this attack. To the traveler, remove 4 damage from the crack pillar to travel here.
Interesting.
Busted up.
Hey, it's a cave torch. Seen that before.
Yeah. Exhaust it to put 3 progress tokens on a dark location. After it exhausts, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If it's an enemy, add it to the staging area. Great Cave Troll, 3, 6, 4, and 6.
Ooh. Wow.
For each point of excess combat damage dealt by the Great Cave Troll, remove 1 progress token from the current quest.
Oh no.
Yeah, because wasn't there a variant where you take it, it turns its threat. You add the excess to your threat. This one's taking it from your progress.
Oh geez. Josh says they have a cave torch.
Cavern wargs.
I hate wargs. I hate wargs.
When they attack, exhaust the cave torch to cancel an attack and return a cavern warg to the staging area.
Josh says not as quite as threatening as a cave troll, and I think I would agree with that. I think typically I think of threat being harder to get down than adding more progress tokens. Still annoying, and also just like it's still annoying because it's a +6 attack, so it's it's just gonna be awful. Alrighty, so what do we got here?
Goblin Tunnels 2 and 7.
Ooh,
While Goblin Tunnels is in the staging area, it gains Forced. After a goblin is revealed from the encounter deck, remove 1 progress from the current quest.
gross.
Oh, attacking enemy for the shadow gets +1 attack or +3 attack if attacking enemy is a goblin.
Ooh.
+3. Wow.
And a lot of these are goblins, if not all of them. No, the wargers aren't goblins, but yeah, I mean we got. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah. Lightless Passage 4 and 4. Travels must exhaust a cave torch to travel here. Oh, Shadow Effect. Cancel all combat damage dealt to an attacking enemy this round.
Oh, jeez. These are way nastier.
Yeah. Branching Paths. While it's in the staging area, each dark location gets +1 threat. When it leaves play, reveal a card from the encounter deck. Oh, you draw 3 and pick 1 and put the other 2 at the bottom. 2 and 6, Collapse Mine, Underground, Dark. While the Collapse Mine is in the staging area, no more than 4 progress can be placed on the quest each round.
Oh, wow. Well, it's in the staging area. Yeah. Oh, man.
Just drawing it out.
Man, I'm ready to run some dwarfs against this scenario. With all these underground and dark locations.
Yeah. 3 and 5, Goblin Dungeon. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck to travel here. The response after the Goblin Dungeon leaves play as an explored location, the first player searches the top 5 cards of their deck for an ally and puts it into play under their control. Shuffle the others back into the deck.
That's cool. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Jonathan213 says that you're waiting for your pack to arrive, although you still haven't played the revised course set. Yeah, so we're I'm eagerly awaiting mine as well, and I didn't buy the revised course set. However, I may. We'll see. I want to support the local game store, right? That's my excuse, right? But they look really interesting. Like these 2 quests look super interesting, and not easy either. So,
see, Crumbling Stairs. While it's in the staging area, progress cannot be placed on it. So Northern Trackers can't whittle away on that one. When Crumbling Stairs leaves play as an explored location, discard the top card of the encounter deck. The discarded card is a location. Put it into play as the active location.
It's so frustrating.
Crumbling Ruin. Each player must exhaust a character and discard the top card of their deck if able. The printed cost of the discarded card is equal to or higher than the remaining hit points of the exhausted character. Discard the exhausted character. Oh, see you later.
I hate those. It's like the Pit Finder.
Yeah. Yeah. Just gone. Lost in the Dark. Player who controls the cave torch must choose either exhaust the cave torch or progress cannot be placed on the quest until the end of the phase. Progress can still be placed in the active location.
Okay. Situationally very bad, but
Watchful Eyes. First player attaches Watchful Eyes to one of their heroes. Counts as a condition attachment with the text limit 1 per hero force. If the attached hero is exhausted at the end of the combat phase, reveal the top card of the encounter deck.
Wow. So you need unexpected courages, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. You'll be seeing a lot of that encounter deck.
Right.
Stalking Goblin, 2/2/2 and 2.
And engaging at 10. Gross.
Oh, this is a burden card. Okay, we're into the
Oh,
burdens.
oh, we're in the
That's
burdens. Okay, okay,
okay.
cool.
So after stalking goblin engages, you search the encounter deck, discard pile, and your collection in that order for a goblin sniper and add it to the staging area. Shuffle the encounter deck.
I hate the goblin snipers.
Great. Oh, and the shadow card. Add the stalking goblin to the staging area. Oh, thanks.
Great.
Shiny distraction. It's a burden. Surge with a doomed one. Each player may add one resource to each of their heroes' pools. Each player that does raises the threat by 5.
Ooh,
Nice.
I hope I never need resources that badly. Like that's a mighty high price to pay right there.
Guilty conscience. Another burden with surge. Attached to the hero with the highest threat cost. Counts as an adaptation attachment with the text. Raise your threat by 2 at the end of each round. Action. Spend 2 resources from the attached hero's pool to discard this card.
Oh man, gross.
All right, some good cards now. The
Let's see what
boons,
the
the
good
good
cards
ones.
are.
Hey, Fervor of Lore, setup attached to a hero. Attached hero gains the lore resource. Choose and discard 3 cards from your hand to heal all damage from a hero. Limit once per campaign. Record in the campaign log when used. Nice. There's one of those.
That seems really good.
Yeah.
Josh wants to know if we were serious when we said 5 threat for 1 resource. And yeah, that's what it was. I'm just not doing that. Just does not seem worth it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Each player may add 1 resource to each of their heroes' pools. Each
So
player does.
okay, so it's each of their heroes' pools. So it would be 5 threat for 3 resources, which still is not a great, right? Because I kind of thinking, I think of it like comparing it to Galadriel's Greeting, right? Like, so 3 resources is reduction of 6 threat. So yeah, no, I've got to be in a really desperate situation to take advantage of that, I think. What do we got here?
Another boon, Might of Tactics. Setup attached to hero. Attached hero gains the tactics resource icon. Action, deal 1 damage to the attached hero to deal 3 damage to an enemy engaged with you. Limit once per campaign. Record in the campaign log.
Very cool. And so do we know, I mean, me and you, do we know how we get these boons? Right?
I think I had printed the some of the cards from like the actual scenario cards, and they do tell you, set a handful of cards aside, and when you do something, then you can add
Cool.
the boons
Okay.
to so.
Okay.
And I think the revised manual has more stuff in there. So what we were talking about prior to. So
Yeah.
not having the revised core set, I don't know exactly what the new instruction manual describes for the campaign mode. Aside from each of the cards that they have tells you what you're supposed to do, and then at the end, I guess the resolution of each of the scenarios, it says then add these cards into your hand for the next round.
Okay. Cool.
Power of Spirit attached to hero gains the spirit icon. Exhaust the hero to place 3 progress on a location. Once per campaign, record it in the log. Just one of those. Secret of Leadership attached to hero. Attached hero gains the leadership resource icon. Spend 1 resource from the attached hero's resource pool to ready a hero. And you can do that once.
Very cool. I'm thinking with these boons, we can get Lore Aragon to all 4 spheres pretty quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, you would. There's 4 of these guys. No time to waste. When playing this card, choose 1. Quest action. Remove no time to waste from the game and from the campaign pool to reduce each player's threat by 3. Oh, so you can use that other card to get the expensive coins and then play this to drop your threat. Reveal the top card of the encounter deck. Or your other option, draw 1 card. And that's an event. So So there's 4 of those.
And if you choose to draw a card, it just gets discarded. But if you choose the first one, it gets removed from the game and the campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ranger Sense. It's a boon when playing this card. Choose one. So one of them is remove Ranger Sense from the game and from the campaign to look at the top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 to your hand, and put the rest back in any order. Or the other option is to draw 1 card.
I don't know if I like that one as much.
And there's 4 of those.
That works pretty good with like the IstariMaiar though, right? If you have things like, name the cost of the top card of your deck, right? Anything that allows you to scry like that could really, play into some of those synergies.
Yeah. And so here are the campaign cards. We were talking about how do we know what we're supposed to do. So here
Perfect.
we go. So for the first one, the Oath, each player chooses one adaptation boon attachment and shuffles it in. And attaches it to one of their heroes. Shuffle the Stalking Goblin burden enemy into the encounter deck. Add Stalking Goblin and each attached adaptation to the campaign pool. And at the end of each round, place 1 resource token here. Okay. And the resolution, if there are 6 or more resource tokens here, the thought of the captured villager suffering weighs heavily on you. Add the Guilty Conscience Treachery burden into the campaign pool.
Okay.
Feel so guilty. They all died. Okay. And then campaign card for the second one for the Caves of Nimandune. Playing campaign mode, each character adds 1 copy of the No Time to Waste boon to their hand after drawing their starting hand, including taking a mulligan. Add each copy of the No Time to Waste in a player's hand to the campaign pool. Shuffle the Shiny Distraction burden into the encounter deck and add it to the campaign pool.
I'm a sucker for shiny distraction. So,
resolution, check the final threat of the player with the highest threat. If it's under 4, you have rescued a retired ranger who shares his wisdom with you. Each player may add 1 copy of Ranger Sense to their deck and to the campaign pool. At the start of your next campaign, each player may also shuffle 1 copy of the Ranger Sense into their deck and add it to the campaign pool.
Nice. So that's kind of interesting, right? At the start of your next campaign. So it's almost like a legacy feel where the campaigns are not, siloed. They play off of each other. So that's kind of interesting.
And that was a question that I was asking. That you play the first 3 from the new revised core set, and it's in campaign mode, and then these 2 go. It appears they go at the end, so you've got 4 and 5, and then but where do you go from there? Because in essence, isn't the Saga series really the only other campaign that's really designed as a campaign? So, like, I wonder then, is there another campaign option coming up?
And it kind of sounds like there is, and I'm wondering. Well, yeah. So I is it like a build your own campaign? Do you have to go through the Mirkwood cycle at this point, or can you hop into Casa Doom and like whenever they've re-released that, which I'm assuming that they are, that there's going to be a campaign version of that. You read the campaign card as you start out, and then kind of whatever boons and burdens you've taken from your previous games, you get to go in and start and kind of to build your own campaign, which sounds pretty cool and interesting if they are doing it like that. But I am interested to see when more of this stuff comes out to see how they all interact with each other.
Yeah. There's a couple other cards here. Lord of the Rings card sequence. So just round summary, resource planning, quest, travel, encounter, combat, and refresh phase.
Excellent.
Put them in your wallet. All right.
Yep, I carry one around everywhere I go. I need one of those cards that tells me where all the action windows are.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
That's
Lots
it.
in there. I like it.
There's a lot in there. That's a huge value for sub $20 US dollar. So I'm super excited to get mine. I cannot wait to hear how it plays. I assume you're going to be hopping into it here pretty soon and getting to play some of the scenarios. So I'm excited to hear your thoughts on actually putting it on the table.
Yeah.
And so especially that guy, I'm looking forward to hearing your success story on how to kill that guy. So he looks pretty nasty.
Yeah, I might not be playing progression in this one. I might be.
Yeah. And that's interesting, right? So I'm wondering if for players who only have the core set and they've bought this, are they going to be struggling through it? Or if they're playing campaign mode, does that give you the extra little boost that you need to kind of limp through here? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. It'll be interesting. So definitely.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say I might try both. Might try it with just the cards that would have been available in progression and see if it's another Dol Guldur version where you just can't get through, or if you can scrape by, and then try it with some later release cards and see what happens.
There's a lot of Dern scoops being played with this one. Josh says that he's really jealous of all the cool stuff that they didn't have when it was initially coming out. So, well, that just means that you can play it again. I know, like you only like to play Champions, but all of these other games are really, really cool. I'm just saying, you could get back into them. I'm not a great influence. I'm pretty, but. Yeah, so that was the first impressions unboxing of the Dark of Mirkwood scenario pack from Lord of the Rings. So if you are in Canada, it seems like you're able to get it now or relatively soon. And then I think, John, you were saying that towards the end of February is when we should be seeing it here in the United States.
Yeah, that's what I heard on one of the Facebook groups saying it was end of February for the US. So, and I think Europe already has it as well.
Europe already has it? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Well, the supply chain situation that FFG is going through right now is super frustrating, but understandable given the climate that the world is. Josh says that his wife is listening, so we'll talk about it on the Discord a little bit later. Don't worry. But thank you so much for coming on, John, and showing off the new pack. It's really exciting. It's got me really excited to receive my copy and go through it. And honestly, I'm excited for these two, but I'm also now really excited for the campaign mode because it seems like it's going to, change it slightly, but enough to make it super interesting and exciting for people to dive back into it that have already played it. And so I'm excited for that. So, yep.
Great. Thanks for having me. And it was fun to share these cards.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Well, yep. So thank you all. If you have it, or if you're leave a comment below if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or wherever to let us know what you're most excited about, which one of these scenarios looks more interesting, or come and discuss it in the Discord. That link is also going to be below. So until next time, happy gaming. See ya.